Well, good morning. Andrew here with Nashville Severe Weather, and we're jumping in on severe weather coverage this morning for a severe thunderstorm warning that has just been issued for Davidson County and also up into Robertson and Sumner County. But really, the initial warning here, we'll probably have more this morning, but the initial warning this morning is for Davidson County, and you see here on the screen the polygon, and you can see here, let me zoom in just a tad, and really most of Davidson County is included in this. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and maybe some small hail in there, but mostly this is a, excuse me, this is a wind thing as this line of storms pushes to the east. We've been watching this line of storms for a long time. It's been well advertised in the models. And it's finally here. We've kind of been waiting all night for it to get here. And right here around 5:40 in the morning, it's here. So let's talk about this and what we need to do to get ready for it. We have just a little bit of time here in Davidson County to get ready for it. But once it's here, it's going to blow through pretty quick. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's go switch over to velocities here. And you can see off to the west, we're using Nashville's radar here. And you can see off to the west here, you can see all these blues. These are some pretty strong winds, okay? And so these are 60-mile-per-hour winds when you get up in these bright blues here. So radar is pinging winds here at about 60, 65 miles per hour. Even a little area here on the very front of it, about 70 miles an hour. That's going to probably be more up into Robertson County than Davidson County, but there's a small pocket of 60 to 70 mile per hour winds there, and so it's going to be coming blowing through. So let's switch to a different radar here, and this might be a little bit easier to see, not as much clutter on here. Let me turn the radar off a second, and you can kind of see the polygon. So let's talk about that real quick. Right now, Williamson County is not included in the warning. This is only a Davidson County warning right now. And there's a note from the Weather Service here just real quick. Let me check this. Both radars that we use, OHX and TBNA, those are the names of the radars. They're both showing winds 40 to 60 miles per hour, spreading eastward with the line of storms currently stretching from Robertson County down to White Bluff and Dixon County. Damage to trees and power lines will be possible as the storms move across the Nashville metro over the next hour. So over the next hour. So you can see the area of strong winds here is pretty big. All right. So as this moves east, it's a pretty big area of strong winds perhaps, and that's up at about 2,600 feet. So whether all of those strong winds are reaching the ground or not, we don't know yet for sure. So let's talk about this. You need to be inside. If you're in Davidson County, you may want to hold your commute off if you can do that. If you're getting ready to head out the door, hold your commute off for a while and let this blow through if you can, if you got that flexibility, but be awful careful out there. And I tell you what this warning also has. This also has what's called a tornado possible tag on the warning, which means basically they're not issuing a tornado warning, but there might be pockets of rotation that develop inside the storm. For example, up here in Robertson County near Coopertown, there's a small area of rotation right on the front of this storm that has kind of been hanging on a while. And so there might be small pockets of rotation within this line that the Weather Service is concerned enough about to where they say there's a small possibility of some tornadic circulations where they might have to pull the trigger on a tornado warning, but they're not yet. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail is what this warning is for. It's in effect until 6:30 in the morning, so about another 45 minutes. I've got 5:46 right now. So about 45 minutes on this warning. So let's go back to the traditional radar, kind of what you're used to seeing. Let me pull out just a little bit. There's Davidson County right there. Most everybody in Davidson County is included in the severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. So naturally, you don't want to be outside in it. You want to be inside. If you're going out for an early morning run, you might want to hold off on that. It's not going to be. You don't want to be outside in it. It can be dangerous. You might have tree limbs coming down and that kind of thing on you, and the lightning. You just don't want to be outside in it. So hold off on being outside, and just kind of be in a good sturdy structure as this blows through. But you also might want to be a little bit near your tornado safe place too, in case some of these little pockets of rotation here on the front end start wrapping up a little bit more. I count 2 of them up there in Robertson County, and maybe one in Cheatham County, but there's just these little pockets that can spin up really quick. And so we just want to be aware of that, be pretty close to your safe place when that comes through here in just a little bit. All right, let's go over to, while we're here, let's go over, this is camera out of Gallatin, and this is looking west. We've got this camera pretty up high, and it's looking west, and it's going to have a great view of this as it comes through. It's not there in Davidson County, but we do have cameras in Davidson County. We have one in Goodlettsville. In fact, I'm checking on it right now, and it doesn't look a whole lot different than the Gallatin camera there. But this one in Gallatin's up a little bit higher, and so we can see a little further. Here's the one in Goodlettsville right there. So you can kind of see it's just cloudy, but that, it's kind of deceiving. It's kind of quiet right now, but that storm's coming in here over the next little bit. All right, let's go back to here, and let's ETA some of these things. So again, if you're just joining us here, severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6:30. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. And so as this comes through, you're not going to want to be outside. You really don't want to be driving either. It's going to be pretty gnarly for a little while as it blows through here. And checking notes from the Weather Service here, and maybe could be some small hail in Dixon County. No surprise there. That's one thing that this warning's in effect for, is maybe some small hail. All right, let's track this thing a little bit, and let's go out almost an hour here, and let's do 50 miles per hour. We're just going to do those folks inside the warning. 50 is going to take it pretty far east to Davidson County, but that gives you at least an idea here. You got Bakers at 603. That's up there on the far northern tip of Davidson County. Belmead at 605. Millersville at 606. Goodlettsville, the middle of Goodlettsville at 607. Downtown Nashville about the same time. So that's about the I-65 corridor there. And then Oak Hill at 610, Creve Hall a little bit after that, about 612. Again, these are ETAs. We stress all the time with these. These are estimates. Don't take these times as gospel. Don't plan your exact activities around the minutes of these ETAs. They're estimates. So as this storm comes through, those might fluctuate some as it comes through, because it'll change speed here and there. So case in point here on some of these areas of rotation, again, this is up in Robertson County, but it's the same line we're dealing with in Davidson County. And you can kind of see up there near Highway 49, you can kind of see just a little area where the blues are being enhanced there. And could be a small area of rotation there. But again, they're not real strong, and they're not real tight. And so it's a situation where they're not ready to pull the trigger on a tornado warning up there. But we can't rule that out today. David mentions that report of the small hail over in Dixon County that we just mentioned a minute ago. And we appreciate Charlie for that report there a few minutes ago. And then also frequent lightning. Yeah, he mentions the bus stop. My kids will be doing that here in a little bit too. The bus stop's going to be not a no-go, as he says. That's right. The lightning and the winds are going to be a problem with the bus stops this morning. So might want to make alternative plans for the kids getting on the bus to go to school. It's going to be a mess. So I sure have myself. So hopefully you have too. Make alternative plans for the kids getting on the bus. Definitely a morning for some coffee. All right. Let's go to, let's check in with Gallatin again. It's getting a little darker there, a little more hazy on the horizon here. So these storms are going to be coming into Sumner County here in a little bit. And we're going to use this camera a little bit because really the Gallatin camera is showing what's going to be happening in Davidson County too. Because it's all the same line. It's all the same line. So we'll be watching it as well. And it looks like we have some cells popping up in Davidson County too that are going to bring some heavy downpours. If you get some of these off toward Bells Bend and up toward Fontenelle and up there toward let's see, is that that's up Beeman Park. That's not the main show. The main show's coming in a few minutes behind the rain that you're seeing in Davidson County now. But let me reiterate here, if you're just joining us here in the past few minutes, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 6:30 in the morning, and so that's about another 40 minutes or so, a little less than that. I've got 5:52, and so the severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 6:30. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and it's also for about penny-size hail. So the hail doesn't look like it's up in the quarter category, which would make it severe. So the severe thunderstorm warning is really for just the strong wind gusts, and the hail should stay non-severe according to their notes here. Looks like they're shoring up some warnings here. Okay, looks like they're going to get rid of a warning polygon down here to the southwest. So that should go away here in just a little bit. So it doesn't look like that part of the line, the southern part of the line, is severe unless they reissue that. So we'll probably see that go away here in a little bit. So if you're in Williamson County, the part of the storm that you will experience is not currently severe. They have actually just gotten rid of this big polygon here. And so the part of the warning, or the part of the storm, the part of the line that is going to be affecting Williamson County is not considered severe right now unless they reissue this. So this polygon should go away because they just expired that. So we'll see if they reissue that. Let's go down and look at velocities there in Williamson County. Yeah, it doesn't look as strong. Doesn't look as strong as what we're dealing with up here in Davidson, just west of Davidson County. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. We'll see if that holds. Yeah, if we go over to different radar, you can see that went away. So the only severe thunderstorm warning, the only warnings we have in effect are for this northern part of the line, and that's going to be the part that's affecting Nashville and affecting Davidson County. And so that's the part of the storm that right now is considered severe. So we're going to go over, David wrote me a note here, we're going to go look at TBNA. So here's TBNA radar. This is down in Nolensville, looking back to the northwest, or looking really west and southwest too. And wind's just screaming up there. So this is at about 1,600 feet off the surface, off the ground, and winds are showing at about 63 miles per hour. And that's coming through Cheatham County right now. And really on a day like today, we do look at the basic radar, the familiar reflectivity, as we call it, the reds and the yellows and the rain view. And we look at that quite a bit. But we also, really on a day like today, we're most concerned with this view, which is the velocities. And it shows us how fast that rain is moving through the air, how fast things are moving through the air. And that gives us a good idea of the wind speeds. And really, that's what we're most concerned about at the moment, is because that's what could cause some damage as it comes through here in the metro area. And so we're thinking, you know, what are these 60-mile-per-hour winds going to do? So a note from the Weather Service, they're talking about the part of the storm down in Williamson County that we were talking about a little bit ago. The line of storms from Williamson County southwestward looks to be just under severe limits. So they let that warning go. But as we mentioned, they say here if it ramps back up, they'll reissue the warning. So for now, that part of the storm that will be affecting Williamson County is not warned. So we'll take that this morning. Hopefully it won't ramp back up. Let's go back over to traditional radar. This is the Weather Service radar here, and you can see a lot of rain. There could be a little bit of flooding issues with this. It's moving. It's not sitting perfectly still. So let's put this in motion. You can see the line come in. So it's moving along. It's not just sitting there. So that's good. We don't want it to just hang around, and we don't want multiple waves of heavy rain and anything like that. Like we saw, it looks like we got a tornado warning coming for northern Davidson. So let's check that out. Yeah, it looks like, so Weather Service is going to issue a tornado warning here for northern Davidson County, and this is exactly why. So here's one of those quick areas of rotation that have formed here around Baxter Road. So there's a tornado warning now in effect for Davidson County, Robertson, and Sumner. All right, so this is a tornado warning for the far northern tip of Davidson County, and this is going to be for Baxter Road, up there north of 24. There's a small area of rotation here that has developed very quickly. So this is a tornado up toward Joelton, radar indicated, and here's your new polygon. All right, so everybody, if you're in Goodlettsville, you need to take cover. If you're up in Bakers, you need to take cover. If you are in Joelton, you need to take cover. And I've got to send a message to some family. Bear with me just a second. This is Ridgeview Estates, Ivy Point Greer Road, Dry Creek Union Hill Road. It's a quick circulation that's developed. Coopertown Road, Baxter Road, quick circulation that's developed up here in the northern part of Davidson County, and that could have a tornado with it. Okay, it develops really fast, so we don't have a lot of time here. So if you live up in the northern tip of Davidson County, Bakers, Ivy Point, Greer Road, the Lutens community is up there. Goodlettsville, everybody in Goodlettsville needs to take cover. Rivergate Mall, if you live near Rivergate Mall, Gallatin Road over into Hendersonville, and Lower Walkers Creek, Licton Pike. There's a Baker Road up there, Freeman Hollow Road, Union Hill Road up near the drag strip up there, Greer Road, Union Hill Road there. Again, I'm just kind of calling out some roads up here. You guys need to be in shelter. Wilkinson Road, and then on up US 431. That's Whites Creek Pike that goes out there toward Robertson County, toward Springfield. All you folks need to be in shelter. All right, so this is a tornado warning. We're going to pay attention to this for a while. And here's what you need to do. You need to get in the lowest level of your home. You need to get in an interior room, putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible, all right? So you need to put on shoes and a helmet. That would be a great idea to do that. But don't be in a mobile home. Don't be in a car. And certainly don't get under bridges. Probably not that many up there, but please don't do that. So tornado warning here for a little bit for Davidson County. That's the northern part of Davidson County until 6:30. So they're letting this warning go for 30 minutes, and that is for the northern part of Davidson County. So let's call out some communities again up there. For those of you that live up that way, you got Goodlettsville. That's the biggest town involved in Davidson County up there. That's Goodlettsville. And then you have, if you go off to the north, out of Springfield Pike, you've got Bakers, and you've got Ivy Point, Greer Road. And right now the circulation, I'll show you exactly where the circulation is. It's right here. All right, so you got Edgar Dillard Road, you got Winding Ridge Road, you've got Appleview Road, Ivy Point Road. That's Ivy Point Road there too. Greer Road is up there. So if you live in that far northern tip of Davidson County, where you kind of go from county to county every once in a while when you're driving up there, you go into Robertson, you go into Sumner, into Davidson. You live up there in that northern part of the county, you need to take cover. This circulation here has ramped up just in the last little bit. I'm going to check and see if I can find any kind of debris signature, and it's hard to get anything definitive. All right, the radar data is a little noisy up there on that side of the county. I'm checking another radar off screen here. TBNA is a little noisy as well, but this has the best view of it right here. Here's your winds going toward the radar, these blues, and here's winds going away from the radar or not moving much. And so there's your circulation right there. Your circulation is right over Wilkinson Road and Winding Ridge, all right, and Ridgewood Road. And so it may cross over just briefly into Robertson County, right there where the county kind of joins Davidson, but not by much. It's going to stay in Davidson pretty well. Ivy Point Road is another place it'll be. Again, we're just kind of, I know I'm calling these out repeatedly, but I want you to know where it is. Union Hill School, if you know where Union Hill is up there, as a school and a market and stuff like that up that way, that's where this is exactly. So significant weather advisory coming out for both counties. We'll get to that after a while. Our most important thing right now is this tornado warning up in northern Davidson County. So if you live in Bakers, if you live at Freeman Hollow, Baker Road, Lutens, if you go out the highway there, you go through the Lutens community before you go up the ridge, going to Ridgetop. If you live in Goodlettsville, anywhere in Goodlettsville, you need to take shelter on the lowest level of your home, interior room, closet, bathroom. Do not be driving. Don't be on the interstate. Get off I-65. If you know anybody on I-65 traveling through Goodlettsville, coming into town or going out of town, please get them off the interstate, get them into a shelter, a sturdy structure there in Goodlettsville off the interstate. If you're coming down Gallatin Pike, coming into town, or Vietnam vets, get off of it. Get in a sturdy structure there in Rivergate, and be sure to do that quickly. So this circulation is moving pretty fast. It's already crossed 431. It has crossed over Wilkinson Road. It's in the Ridgeview Estates right now, and hard to tell for sure on the checking for debris signatures. A little hard to tell. There may be a little bit of hail in there, which kind of muddies it up a little bit, and that's a hard view there to decipher right at the moment. But the circulation is fairly pronounced, so you need to definitely be in your shelter. So again, tornado warning for northern Davidson County. Let me back up here and let me turn the radar off just a second. And northern part of Davidson County, you can see exactly where this is. You're looking at the outline of Davidson here, and this is the northern part of Davidson. So if you live in that northern part of Davidson up north of Madison, that's exactly where this tornado warning is in effect for. All right, so you need to be in your safe place. Lowest level of your home, into your room, closet, bathroom. If it's below grade, underground, that's good if you have a safe place there. But you definitely want to be in your safe place with this as it comes through. It's right there in Ridgeview Estates right now. Zooming back in, Ridgeview Road, and there's your new radar scan. Circulation is still pretty pronounced, and at the very least, you should get 60 to 70 mile per hour winds with this as it comes through. So Ivy Point and Greer Road is right here. I know the label's a little bit small. In fact, let's stay with this. But Ivy Point and Greer Road, and then next will be Lower Walker's Creek and Licton Pike. So there's a lot of trees and a lot of woods up here, but you got some of these intersections that come together off in the woods. So the Lower Walker's Creek and Licton Pike will be next, and also Freeman Hollow and Baker. So if you live out in the Baker Road area off of Old Springfield Pike, y'all need to be in shelter there. If you're in the Lutens community, you need to be sheltered there on Old Springfield Pike. All the neighborhoods there off of the highway, the main highway going out of Goodlettsville up to Ridgetop, you need to be in shelter as well. And they're in the Bakers community for sure. So hopefully it'll go a little bit south of Bakers where the railroad crossing is there, the community of Bakers. But you definitely need to be in shelter there because it's close enough. Union Hill School, it's going to be awfully close up there in Union Hill. Dry Creek, Union Hill Road area as well. That intersection you need to be in your safe place too. All right, so again, let's just mention this for those who are joining us. A lot of you in Davidson County probably wondering what's going on. So in the far northern part of Davidson, I'm going to turn the radar off again so you can see okay on here. Far northern Davidson County, from basically Madison and Joelton to the north. Those are the folks that are involved in a tornado warning till 6:30. And hopefully before 6:30, we'll be able to give the all clear for Davidson as it moves over into Sumner. But for right now, we can't. Right now, it's in Davidson County. It's squarely in Davidson County. So that's going to be for the far northern part of Davidson. Radar back on here, and we see that circulation pretty well defined. Let's go over and look at, in fact, a little bit better defined even now. So Ivy Point and Greer Road is right there. That's where it just crossed. I'm going to turn radar off a second. A lot of trees up here, but there's a lot of houses too on these roads. So it looks like it just crossed it's crossing right now Greer Road, and then it will cross Lakeside Drive, it will cross Freeman Hollow Road, and then it'll cross Baker Road or Old Springfield Pike. So there, let's see, Weather Service is, they're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. So, so that's what we have. We have a tornado warning that's in effect until 6:30. Somebody asked over here, is there a confirmed tornado on the ground? We have not gotten confirmation that the tornado is on the ground. This is a radar-indicated tornado that is near the Bakers community and Dry Creek, the Union Hill community. It's very near Union Hill. Really hard to tell. May have some hail in there. We normally use this view to try to find debris signatures. to confirm that a tornado is on the ground, but it's awfully hard because there's probably a little bit of hail involved with this as well, especially in these purples. So it's awfully hard to tell if that's hail involved in there or if that is debris. So a lot of trees up there, it would be easy pickings to loft a little bit of debris up in the sky, just from the little, very small tree branches, leaves, that kind of thing. But it's just a little bit hard to tell. All right, so let's go back to velocities. Here's your circulation, Freeman Hollow, Baker Road. And circulation right now is crossing Freeman Hollow. There is it connects Licton Pike up to Baker Road. And so you got Luton's up here. You got Baker's right here. There's the old Baker Station Road, and it's just south of that. So this is a fairly well-defined circulation. It's kind of tight. It's got, there's winds here. There are winds here. Velocities being estimated at around 100 miles an hour. So if this circulation is if this circulation's on the ground, I tell you what, we need to go do this. Hang on a minute. We're going to go over and we're going to look at Goodlettsville. We're going to look at Goodlettsville here and see if we can see this. So it would be on the right side of your screen. You can definitely see a lowering there on the right side of your screen. And it's going to be rain wrapped. It's going to be awfully hard to see. And how so much I wish we could turn this camera. We can't turn this camera, but it's going to be on the far right side of your screen, and I wish we could turn it because it's about to go out of the view. It's moving fast. It's moving fast. So, but that's where the circulation would be is just about to go off the right side of your screen. So we're going to just kind of watch for power flashes. Or something like that, we can see if this thing's on the ground. But this is in Goodlettsville, looking to the west, and the circulation is going right to the right of the camera here, just in the last few seconds. So we're going to stick with this shot, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of describe to you what's going on the radar. We've got circulation here on the northern side of Davidson County, just south of Luton's, and Freeman Hollow, Baker Road, Lower Walkers Creek, Licton Pike. And the circulation, as I look at it right here, it is going to cross Old Springfield Pike as you get down toward some of the railroad trestles down there as you go into Goodlettsville. That's kind of where it's going to cross. And it looks like that circulation now is crossing the highway. So can't really see anything on the camera here other than the rain and the storm coming in. But that's exactly where it is. So the tornado would be north of this camera view. So let's pop back over here to the radar. And again, tornado warning for northern Davidson County. It's moving into Sumner very quickly. Here in the next 30 seconds to a minute, it'll be over in Sumner County, and it'll be out of Davidson County. So you see here on radar, this white line is the Sumner-Davidson County line. All right, here on the edge of Goodlettsville on the north side. So this is like where... Millersville's here, but like there's the I-65 exit and all the fireworks stands, all the fireworks shops that sit right there off of the interstate. That's exactly where this is. So right there near where the campground is with Old Springfield Pike, the one that has flooding issues right there near Mansker Creek, and then just barely north of that, that's where the circulation is. Kind of near Williamson Road. So just kind of between Williamson Road and the interstate exit. If you're up that way, you kind of know where that is. That's where the circulation is. It's right there. You see the rain and we haven't lost power in Goodlettsville, at least up down here a little bit south of the circulation. So that's a good sign. Still have power there in Goodlettsville, but the strongest part of the storm looks to be just to the north of this camera, which would be to the right. It looks like where the strongest part of that storm is. All right, so that's going to be in this next radar scan. The next radar scan, this thing's going to be in Sumner County pretty much, okay? It's moving pretty quickly, and it's right on the county line. So it's just about into Sumner County. And when it does, we'll jump down and see what's going on in the rest of the county and make sure there's no other circulations. I don't see any right off the bat. Weather Service just notes there's 3 possible tornado circulations that are ongoing: one near Orlinda, one near White House, and one near Millersville. So this is the one near Millersville. It's the southernmost one. There's your latest scan, and that shows the circulation over into Sumner County. All right, so the circulation here is now into Sumner County, and that's east of I-65, barely. It's barely east of I-65. So just hang in. If you're in the Davidson County part of Goodlettsville, just hang in your safe place for just a little bit more. And then, but it looks like it's crossed over the interstate and has gone over and is in Millersville now, over on the Sumner County side. But just hang with it just a little bit. Especially if you're east of 65, you need to stay sheltered over in Sumner County if you happen to be listening to us. But if you're in Davidson County, just stick with it for a little bit. Just hang on a little while. That was a pretty decent circulation that came through there just a second ago. We really would love to. Okay, I'm looking at reports now. Actually, no power in Bakers, so it looks like the power has been cut there in the Bakers community. So that's right up here, just to the north of the circulation, but not by much. I mean, if he's saying he's in Bakers, that's very close to where this was. Hey, if you have reports, if you could send those to us using hashtag TSpotter, that'll do a couple of things. One, it puts all of the reports in one column for us, and we can see all the reports coming in. It's great if you reply to a tweet of ours. That's cool too. But we would prefer that you use hashtag TSpotter, and it puts it all in one place for us, and we can keep those reports. We can get those over to the Weather Service as quickly as possible, and let them know what's going on the ground, so that we can they can put out better warnings. So it looks like they're shoring up the warning here, and they may be removing Davidson County. So that would be good. I think they're removing Davidson County from the warning. So if that's the case, then there would not be any more tornado warnings for Davidson currently. No others in effect. So let's see if that disappears. But if I'm reading this right, I think Davidson will be removed. So the circulation is clearly now over into Sumner County. Yeah. Okay. Davidson County has been removed from the warning. I'm going to go over to the Goodlettsville camera. Goodlettsville is just getting hit pretty hard right now. So a lot of lightning, a lot of wind, and a lot of rain. Okay, so the tornado warning for Davidson County is gone. All right, it is over. All clear for Davidson County on that tornado warning that just went away. Let me read a note here from David. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna keep mentioning the warning over there in Sumner County just for a little bit. Good point, David. So I'm going to mention that just a little bit. But let me mention the severe thunderstorm warning real fast. This is for Davidson County. Severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson County that runs all the way down to Brentwood and Bellevue and Riverwalk, but it does not include any of Williamson County as of yet. All right. So does not include any of Williamson County yet. Let's go check out this tornado again over in Sumner County. This is the one that just came through Goodlettsville just a little bit ago, and I've got some family up that way, and I sure hope they took cover. I tried to get some word to them, and it looks like that word did get to them. So hopefully it did. But that was a pretty impressive circulation. Hard to tell if it's holding together. It may be falling apart, but that's one scan, so we're not going to depend on one radar scan to tell us if it fell apart or not. But it could be weakening if that radar data is accurate. So you remember, we saw these blues just a little bit ago as it came through the northern part of Davidson and Bakers and Freeman Hollow. And then your blues disappear here. So we're going to kind of see the radar has some terrain issues up here. It hits some terrain, and so it gets a little weird up there as that radar beam kind of gets over the Highland Rim. But we're gonna see if that's the case and if it is indeed weakening. But that would be great if it does. So that would be heading toward Gallatin. I'm looking up here. It looks like we've lost our Gallatin cameras. We actually have two, and it looks like we've lost both of them. So that's I was kind of hoping to see that, but it does not look like we have either one of them. Okay, let me back out just a little bit on the velocities. So yeah, their weather service is right. I mean, they were talking about these circulations. I mean, there are 3, and they've got another tornado warning up toward the Kentucky border here in Sumner County, but right there coming into Portland, right there around White House, and then that 3rd circulation down there around east of Millersville. They're well into Sumner County. So no warnings no tornado warnings in effect anymore for Davidson. Those have all expired. But with power out, it does look like there was some minor damage up in Goodlettsville. Looks like a tree down and power outages up there. Let's go look at reports just for a second. We're looking here at some reports. This one here is in West Nashville. No power in Goodlettsville there. Little thunder so far. They're in a safe spot. Good. Glad you're in a safe spot, Kim. Wind just kicked up in Inglewood. So not many reports in T-Spotter from the storm up in northern Davidson, but we hope to get some of those reports. We would love to know what happened up there in northern Davidson County. But it looks like we do have at least one report here of no power up in Bakers. So that would indicate to me that perhaps there was some, that wind did reach the ground. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Let's go look at the traditional radar view. Again, that tornado warning continues over there in Sumner County. It does look like the circulation is weaker than it was. It doesn't look as strong as it was a little bit ago. It still has that notch on radar, though. Still has that look. We kind of call it a Popeye arm, where it kind of reaches out the front of a line of storms like this. It kind of still has that look. So if you're over in Sumner County, I'd still stay sheltered for sure, especially there around Long Hollow Pike as it goes out there through toward Gallatin. Okay, let's go to Davidson County here. Let's check out the winds. It's going to have a hard read on the winds here. Let's see. Let's go down the line. Winds still pretty gusty coming through Nashville. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 6:30 for Davidson County. That's for the original severe thunderstorm warning that we came on for. The Williamson County part of the storm is not warned. It does not have winds that reach severe criteria, at least as of yet, and so the Weather Service is not sticking a warning on that part of the storm. So Williamson County, right now, this is a general thunderstorm for you. Could it be upgraded? Yes, absolutely. Looks like Weather Service is continuing the tornado warning for Sumner, and they're saying that tornado was near Portland, or 14 miles north of Gallatin. That's for the northern tornado warning that they had up there in Sumner County. So they're continuing that tornado warning, and that's going to be moving east. Looks like we just got a camera back up there in Gallatin. Let's see here. Let's see what's going on up there. I'm going to turn this thing up to the north just a tad. I don't know. There's a couple of circulations I can go look at. Let me see if... All right. Looks like a little lowering there on the one. This is looking west. And... look a little bit more to the northwest here. Yeah, definitely see a lowering there. I'm curious on this other storm that could be going toward Gallatin. So we're gonna kind of bounce between these. Again, this is up on a tower there in Portland. Definitely a lowering there on that cell. That's looking up toward the one towards South Tunnel or east of White House. I really want to get over here and see if I can get this thing to pan. I really want to see the cell down to the south. If I can. Our signal's awfully rough up there right now. And that's just kind of the way it goes on a day like today. Looks like we're frozen. Okay, let's go back. Wish I could see that. Okay, so the circulation's now in Sumner County, comfortably east of Davidson, but it's still a Sumner County issue. I was going to try to get some confirmation, and the camera just dropped offline. I was going to try to get some confirmation there and see if we could see a funnel or anything like that in Sumner. All right, in Davidson County, still some gusty winds. And there is and severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 6:30. That's about another 10 minutes in Davidson County. And then down to the south again, Williamson County, you guys are not included in a warning right now. It looks like our camera may have just come back, and I've apparently spun this thing all the way around. Let me see if I can get control of this thing, and we'll see if we can see. We're going to try to get some confirmation to the Weather Service here. Let me just try the other camera. Oh boy, it's a night vision. Must be dark. All right, let's try to turn this thing around a little bit. Bear with me a second. Come on, camera. Come on. It's looking west. This camera's a little bit lower, so I got to deal with some trees here. I need to go left. Come on, camera. Come on. These are experimental. We're testing these things out, and so these are not. We're getting internet and all that connected to these things, so it's a little bit spotty right now. But they may come in handy today. So let's see what we can get here. All right. Come on. A little bit further left. That one's frozen up too. Okay, let's go back to radar. Here. We need to get we'll get that camera fixed. We're looking forward to getting that thing ready to go. All right, let's take a look at velocities up here in Sumner County. This is it's tightening back up again around Gallatin. If you're in Gallatin, you folks need to take cover, and you absolutely need to take cover. All right, we may have it back. And I know this is in Sumner County. I totally realize that, but I'm trying to get confirmation for the Weather Service. They're doing a great job putting these warnings out, and I'm really trying to get confirmation for them on whether this thing's on the ground or not. And we can do it with this. If there's any way to do it, it's with this camera up here on this tower. So bear with me while I try to do that. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 6:30 for Davidson, but there is no tornado warning for Davidson County. That has expired. But it does look like maybe was some damage, at least power outages up there in the northern part of Goodlettsville toward Bakers, where that tornado warning was a little bit ago. So we're going to see what reports we get out of there. And the cameras are offline again. Okay. All right, so there's your circulation. That's what we're trying to look at, is this circulation right here up in Gallatin. Camera's up here, and it's looking right down at it. So that's what we're trying to get going. All right, doesn't look like that's going to happen, but that's a decent circulation heading into Gallatin. Let's go back down here and make sure there's not another one of these things somewhere. And doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like we have any other circulations in Davidson. And that tornado warning has moved east of Davidson County. All right, so we are not no longer in a tornado warning here in Davidson. Looking at some reports here. Wind slamming into my window. That's an interesting way to wake up. Lightning at a substation. All right, so looks like okay here. So we got a tree snapped mid-trunk, blocking a lane closest to Masker Creek on Williamson Road. So that's going to be in Sumner County, barely. So it looks like some tree damage up there as well. Okay. Let's hope it's limited to that and not more. So we'll be keeping an eye on those reports. So yeah, definitely circulation still coming into Gallatin. That's going to go right through Gallatin. So it looks like it's going to go through the southern parts of Gallatin there, around Nichols Lane. And right there where 109 comes into, or kind of goes around Gallatin, right there on the southern side. So that's a decent circulation there. All right, so there's another severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for the eastern part of Davidson County. That includes Percy Priest Lake. That's going to be in effect until 7. So another 30 minutes on that one. Again, you see these polygons up here. These are for Sumner County and Wilson County. Davidson is not included in a tornado warning currently. So that was earlier. That has expired, and that has moved east. But folks in Gallatin, though, folks in Gallatin need to be sheltered, like now. In fact, the circulation there is coming right through I think it's kind of a 109 bypass around the west side of Gallatin. I'm not as familiar up there, but I think it's like a 109 bypass there. It goes around the west side of Gallatin. That's exactly where the circulation is. And so that's where that circulation is in Gallatin. Let's back out a little bit. So 2 severe thunderstorm warnings here for Davidson, one in effect till 6:30, one in effect till 7. A couple of significant weather advisories in effect as well, and I think some of those include Davidson County. I mean, that's Williamson, I think. Let's check. So, yeah, significant weather advisories down here in white. So these are not severe. They just could have some strong weather with them. So really all of Williamson County included in a significant weather advisory in one form or another as these storms come in. So it could be gusty, could have a little bit of hail, some gusty winds, but non-severe right now according to radar and the Weather Service. All right, I'm going to give another try, guys. I got to give another try to these cameras. Let me just see if I can get these cameras up and running here. They're using a wireless form of internet, and which is normally pretty good. I've got to see if we can get these things up and see that circulation. I feel like we need to do that. And I surely cannot. Yeah, they're both offline. That could be from a power issue too. So, but yeah, they're both offline. Okay, so there's that circulation in Gallatin. Actually, really one of the circulations went directly over the camera site. So, so that could be part of the issue as well. So I just hope the cameras are still there, to be honest with you. But hopefully everything's cool up there in Gallatin, but definitely stay in your safe place. A couple of circulations up there along 109, South Tunnel down into the southern part of Gallatin. All right. Let's back out. Let's just kind of get a big view here and see what's going on. So we've got two warnings in effect. They're both severe thunderstorm warnings. One is in effect until 6:30. It should go away now unless they... there it goes. It just went away. All right. So we now have only one severe thunderstorm warning in effect. That's until 7. And that's the one over here that covers like Percy Priest Lake over on the east side of Davidson County. Williamson County, there are no warnings in effect right now for Williamson County. So the only warning in effect right now is the eastern sliver, the eastern side of Davidson County from about Percy Priest Lake, B&A off to the east. And so let's zoom in on that. And that's where we could find some gusty winds. Wouldn't be out of the question for a little circulation to try to spin up like it did up in northern Davidson County earlier. So there's a little bit of turbulence here in the reds and the greens. These are your winds going toward and away toward the radar and away from the radar. And it wouldn't be out of the question for something to spin up here near I-40, near Percy Priest Lake, Percy Priest Dam, and off to the east there going into Mount Juliet. So it wouldn't be surprising if that happened, but don't see anything strong enough at this point to say that is happening. And really that little area of interest should be out of Davidson County here in just a few minutes. But that's weak rotation though. Down to the south, not seeing a lot in the way of really gusty winds there. Let's go look at TBNA. Let's just go down and look at Williamson County. This is TBNA here in Nolensville, on the north side of Nolensville. And looking back to the west, where it would have a good read, we're not seeing too many pockets of strong wind. Could be a little bit of wind out there on Caney Fork Road, or around there, south of Fairview. Excuse me. Could be some gusty winds out there, but really not seeing anything absolutely crazy here on velocities in Williamson County. All right, let's go back to traditional radar here. We're not seeing just a lot on velocity, so let's just look at the regular radar here and kind of get an up and down view of this line. So this is the main line for this morning, the one we've been talking about now for several hours and a day or so. So this is the main line that came out of West Tennessee overnight and is pushing to the east. So 2 tornado warnings on it currently up in Sumner County and Wilson County. But for us here in Davidson, looking at a severe thunderstorm warning till 7 o'clock. Somebody in Hermitage saying, can you expound on something a little bit over there in Hermitage? Yeah. So over in Hermitage, there's just an area here. You see these reds and greens. We've kind of been watching these areas of reds and greens. These are winds going toward and away from the radar. Sometimes, as we've already seen this morning, you can get real quick circulations over there in, you can get quick circulations up and down the line that form, and sometimes they form pretty quickly, as they did up in northern Davidson County. We don't see that right now over in Hermitage. What I was saying was that it's not uncommon, and there's some maybe a weak area or two where that could happen, but it's not happening right now. So it looks like that's moving quickly over into Wilson County. Okay. Let's talk. We haven't talked about hail much. Could be a little bit of hail in this around Creve Hall. If you see hail, shoot us a message over on Twitter, #TSpotter. We'd love to know about that, just as another aspect of the storms. If you see any hail over there in Creve Hall and maybe down toward in West Franklin. So as it comes through Franklin, if you see any hail, let us know about that. Let's see what other questions. There's a lot of questions here. We had some folks in Hermitage checking in and kind of wanting to know what's going on there. Yeah, it got dark real fast over Percy Priest. So, yep, severe thunderstorm there. Sirens going off in Madison. Are they just late? Yeah, probably. They're just hanging on for a while. Okay, as far as reports go, we really would love reports from up on the northern side of Davidson County. So if you're up in the Bakers area, if you're up in Freeman Hollow, Licton Pike, Lower Walkers Creek, Ivy Point, Greer Road, Joelton, any of those areas earlier that had the potential tornado come through there was a tornadic circulation, some rotation that came through the northern part of Davidson. If you're up in that area, we would love to know what you have or what you experience as far as damage up that way. That would be good to know. So shoot us a tweet using #TSpotter, and that would be fantastic. Hope everybody's safe up there. Yeah, David notes over on Twitter that the Davidson and Williams County storms appear to be a little bit weaker than they were an hour ago. So that would be good. A downward trend on these things would be great. So hopefully these things will start behaving again, and we won't have the trouble that we had earlier. So it looks like the gust, what I would call the gust front, which is the very beginning of the storms, has passed through almost all of Davidson County. That's probably where your strongest winds are going to be, and that's pushed almost all the way through Davidson County. So hopefully we'll be able to say that the strongest winds have moved out. Looks like they're continuing a tornado warning for Sumner, Trousdale, Wilson. That's this circulation up here we were looking at earlier, and it's just kind of hanging on. I mean, it's just hanging on. There's a decent wind gusts there at the very least of up in the 60s, 70 mile per hour range. Could easily have a circulation with it up there, not too far from the TVA plant up there on the river in Gallatin. So just east of that is where that could be. In fact, it could even be a little bit of a debris signature there. Could be a debris signature up there. Not exactly sure. Not ready to call that, but could be a weak circulation on the ground there around Lakeview Road, right there along the river, Old Hickory Lake. So hopefully not. Yeah, the Weather Service actually just noted that. It appears to be a TDS southwest of Castellan Springs with a tornado-warned circulation. So it appears to be a TDS. Appears to be debris here being lofted of some sort up there, and you don't want to see that. But up there around Lakeview Road, right at Lakeview Road, up there in Sumner County, right on the river, right on the lake. So that sure does look like that is. Okay, yeah, storms generally do look weaker for us, for Davidson and Williamson. So that's good to see. Good to see. So we still have a severe thunderstorm warning here. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning up here till 7 a.m. That's for the eastern part of Davidson County. And we're watching. I'm looking at a couple other notes here to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, let's check on these Murray County storms. Nothing as far as rotation there that I'm too concerned with there in Murray County, but could be some gusty winds. Those look a little bit more. Those storms look a little bit more impressive. So coming into Spring Hill, coming into maybe the southeast sides of Franklin, and maybe College Grove and Bethesda and places like that. Could be some little bit stronger storms coming up through Murray County. Currently non-severe. They're not warned. So we'll see if they hold together or if they weaken. But we'll see how that evolves over time. So a little bit stronger storms coming up. And they're moving really to the northeast rather than the east. They're moving northeast. So they'll affect areas like Spring Hill. We'll go back in time here a little bit. And what I hope is that, not to get too technical here, but there's kind of a gust front on the front of these storms that were affecting Davidson and Williamson. What I'm hoping is that that gust front kind of moves through and undercuts the support on these storms around Mount Pleasant and Columbia. That would be entirely possible, and let's kind of hope that happens. So once that cold air rushes in underneath those storms, it could, quite literally cut the legs out from under the storm and not be as strong. So that would be good if that happened. Could have a little bit of hail up there around Antioch, up there around the east parts of Brentwood, up there around like the Publix and Kroger, Concord and Nolensville. Could have some hail up there. Not quite an inch, but could be a little bit of hail up there in the strongest rain up near Antioch, Brentwood, Nolensville, Cane Ridge area. Let's go back up here and check on this tornado up here. Looks like, yeah, sure does look like a debris signature here. So let's do this. For those of you up in Sumner County, there's really not much left of your county with this, but Coram Hill Road, Canoe Branch Road, and then really it goes over into Macon County, Trousdale County. So, but yeah, definite circulation there. And it does look like there was a debris signature a little bit ago, maybe a brief touchdown there around the lake, Old Hickory Lake, there southeast of Gallatin. Not too far from the Gallatin steam plant, but northeast of that a little bit, but kind of in the bend in the river. All right, so that'll be out of Sumner County here in just a little bit. Looks like the Weather Service says they're going to... that was just a minute ago. They said they're going to have to reissue the tornado warning for southeast Sumner into Trousdale County. So it looks like they're going to draw a new polygon there. here in just a little bit. So that'll take it over into Trousdale County and a little bit further. And it looks like it'll probably cover a couple of circulations there in Sumner County. So probably going to expand the warning up there in Sumner and Trousdale as that moves to the east. And you kind of see this notch. We kind of call it Popeye arms. They kind of stick out this way, kind of like a backwards J. And that's what we look for with these. All right, so severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for about another 20 minutes if they keep it going in Davidson. So the eastern part of Davidson County is still under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7 a.m. And that is for areas like Nashville Shores, Hermitage, the Nashboro Golf Club, Percy Priest Lake, Long Hunter State Park. And that's basically the areas that are included in that severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like they have redrawn the polygon now to include these two circulations moving off to the east. So instead of just including this one that started over in Goodlettsville, or Joelton rather, there's now two circulations, and they are both pushing to the east. All right, so that's moving out of Sumner County over into Trousdale County, and both of them heading for Hartsville. I'm going to try one more time and see if I can swing these cameras around over to the east. And I don't think so. Okay. That's okay. All right, so two, maybe three circulations. Wow. They're in Sumner County moving into Trousdale. Okay, for us, those of you heading to work, if you're in Williamson County, Davidson County, heading to work or school here in a little bit. So there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about another 15 minutes for Davidson. The rain has slackened off quite a bit north of 40. So from like Bakers and Goodlettsville and Hendersonville down to the south, down to I-40, the rain is not nearly as heavy as it was. But there also is a lot of heavy rain, though, in Williamson County. So if you can delay your travel, or you're not as comfortable driving in the rain and the wind, Williamson County is going to be the rougher go right now. Northern Davidson County is in better shape than they were. So, but going to be raining for a while. Back edge of the rain is back around Weakley County and Paris and Carroll County and Henderson County, down toward the Tennessee River. That's kind of where the back edge of this batch of rain is. And but it's going to be heavy in Williamson County for a little bit. I'm checking over on reports. I really would like to see if there's any reports of damage up there in Goodlettsville. So let's check out T-Spotter. Windy and hail and noisy there at the Hermitage, Mount Juliet line. Electrical substation there, fire down behind downtown YMCA. And Joelton, looks like some branches down, trees split, maybe some branches down there near Whites Creek Pike off Morgan Road. So there's some limbs down there. That was very near that circulation that was up that way. And Highway 109 and 70. So a little bit of rotation with that cloud. That could be that rotation that went through Gallatin a little bit ago. Could be what that is. And there's that branch in the road there. That looks like it's going to be the highway. That's US 41. It looks like this is that stretch right there between kind of where... kind of between Goodlettsville and Ridgetop. Actually, this is near, I know where this is near Baker Station Road. They're near Ridgetop, kind of between Ridgetop and Bakers. All right, let's see what else. Goodlettsville, Licton Pike by the railroad bridge. Very near that circulation. Looks like a tree basically split there. Could have been lightning, she says, but that circulation was very, very close to that location, exactly where she is by the railroad bridge on Licton Pike. So that looks to be the extent of the damage. There she shows us again a picture of that tree. And some other tree issues there near the Williamson Road. That's near Mansker Creek. Williamson Road, that's near the highway on Highway 41. Some branches down there. All right, so that's a look at the some of the T-Spotter reports that have come in. Let's go back to radar here and check the things taking their time in Williamson County. Some heavy rain there, but things are kind of taking their time. Somebody asked over on Twitter if there's any hail in Williamson. Could be some small hail with it. So maybe some small hail there around Spring Hill, and maybe some small pea-sized hail scattered around the eastern part of the county as well. So don't be surprised if you hear a little bit of ice, but nothing severe right now. It doesn't look like down in Williamson County right now. Checking in on some other updates. Got a lot of places to look for updates here. I don't think so. I think we're up to date. Okay. All right. So about another 10 minutes on our warning here in Davidson County. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Those are possible. That's until 7, and that's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Those circulations up there in Sumner County still looking pretty impressive, and really, there's just they just keep popping up. So you got 1, 2, 3 areas of rotation there in what's now in Trousdale County, in Hartsville. All right, let's go back down to the south. Light rain now. Luckily, it's a lot better than it was up in Goodlettsville, Joelton, Bakers, down to the south in Madison, Fontanelle, Beeman Park, Bells Bend. Downtown Nashville's in better shape than you were. Rain is really slackened off there. Berry Hill's doing a little better. Forest Hills. But then you hit the heavier rain here in Brentwood and down to the south into Nolensville and Franklin, Leapers Fork, Fairview, Natchez Straits Bridge, Sullivan Farms, Williamson County Ag Center, Page High School, Thompson Station, and Boston. Really heavy rain down there, but not seeing much in the way of wind and not seeing much in the way of hail. Maybe some pea-sized hail scattered throughout the different cells. Nothing crazy there, but maybe just some brief, really heavy rain. And if we get away with that today and we don't have a flooding issue, hopefully we don't, but watch out for that in the heavy rain. If we get away with that a flooding issue and we don't have rotation or large hail, we're doing pretty well this morning south of I-40. So we hope things are okay north of I-40 this morning. So again, another 10 minutes or so on the severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be up in Davidson County. Somebody says, they heard about a tornado touchdown in Gallatin, whether that's confirmed or not. They're just asking if we know anything about that. We really don't. We've not seen any reports from up in Gallatin. We've just been seeing what we saw on radar. Looks like the Weather Service is continuing that tornado warning up in Macon Smith, Trousdale. That's that tornado warning. If you really want a good visual of where the all clear line is, go check Twitter and look for a smiley face. David's drawn us a map, and you can go check that out and see where the smiley face is, and you're in the all clear for now. All right, you're looking at radar here. We're just kind of hanging out. There's not a lot right now on radar that I can show you and point you towards severe weather in our two counties. The strongest winds are going to be on the front end of this this green and red line here. That's where your strongest winds are going to be. And that has pushed east of Davidson. It's quickly pushing east of Williamson. And so that's the way the wind looks. The hail view could be some pea-sized hail, maybe a little larger down in Thompson Station, Spring Hill with that storm. But other than that, really not a hail issue. So let's look at the rain. We could have a flooding issue if these heavy downpours train for a while, but it looks like they're moving, so it doesn't look like, at least for right now, it looks like things are moving pretty well. All right. And hang on one second. I'll be right back. All right, back with you here. So we're getting our family ready for school here too. So I know y'all are doing that as well. We're doing it too. All right, so it looks like there could be some small hail also around Nolensville, just southwest of Nolensville, and it doesn't look like anything big. Maybe pea size, maybe half-inch size hail. Spring Hill could be just a little bit bigger. So really, if there's anything right now in Williamson County, it's probably not going to be a wind issue. It's going to be maybe just some small hail over there in Spring Hill. That could be really the most severe thing we see right now, and it's not even severe size. So probably a half-inch hail, maybe a little bit smaller, maybe a little bit bigger. But really, that's probably about it. All right. Tell you what we're going to do. We are 5 minutes away from the severe thunderstorm warning going away in Davidson County. So we are going to jump off of here, and we're going to go focus our attention now on writing a blog for the rest of the day. We are going to keep working on Twitter. Will just posted over there on Twitter just a few seconds ago about what to report. If you'd like to send in a report, we need hail larger than 1 inch in diameter, floodwaters approaching a road or a home. Use hashtag TSpotter to send those reports. And so he sends that tweet over there just a second ago. So if you need to refer to that, that's cool. We would love to get reports today. We'll send those over to the Weather Service. All right, we're going to jump off of here on the broadcast, and we'll do some checking up there in northern Davidson County and see what we can find out and see how things are up there. But we'll take it from there, and we'll cover the rest of this over on Twitter. We'll jump back on if any other warnings are issued. All right, y'all have a great day.